This is episode number 292 of the Middle Country Public Library podcast. Hello and welcome. I'm Sal DiVincenzo here in the studio with my fabulous colleagues, Sara Fade.
Hello.
And Nicole Rambo.
Hello.
How is everyone doing?
Great.
We have a show about self-reflection and self-development and self-help this week. So hopefully it'll be very beneficial to you. But before we get into that, I do have a couple of pieces of housekeeping. If you're listening to us to this episode on premiere day on Thursday, September 14th, it is program registration day for our little ones.
Yes.
Our kids and our teens. The fall program registration started at 9:30 a.m. this morning, and for adults tomorrow, September 15th at 9:30 a.m. You can register in line, in person, Selden, Center Reach, or call us 631-585-9393 if you have a Middle Country library card. If you do not have a library card with Middle Country, but there's an out-of-district program that is available to you, come on back on the 25th, because that's when you'll be able to sign up for those programs as well. So that's the first part of housekeeping. The second part of housekeeping is that, and this is big, is that we were featured on the front cover of the American Libraries Association American Libraries 2023 Library Design Showcase magazine. And our very own,
more importantly, our very own in-house supermodel, Sara Fade, is on the cover.
I can sign
yes.
any copies.
Sign any copies as she's reading a book on a chair. Very good.
on the cover.
On the cover of the Library Design Showcase. So congratulations to Middle Country. Congratulations to us. They were featuring our beautiful adult reading room renovations.
Quite nice.
Which is quite nice. And we have other shots in there. Nicole is in the inside of the magazine. You didn't make the cover, but you are inside the magazine.
I'll take it.
So you have to open it up and take a look. So it's very exciting.
Yes, Nicole can sign too.
Yeah.
So we're very excited about that. And if you're a listener and you haven't come down yet and seen the adult reading room renovation, it is spectacular. So please come down to our Center East building and check it out. So with that out of the way, who would like to go first this week?
Go first. September is Self-Improvement Month.
I didn't know that.
Oh.
Now I do.
Which is funny because of both of our topics.
Yeah.
So just so you know, there are 8 main areas of self-care.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yes.
Are you ready, guys? So the first one is no particular order.
Right.
Physical.
Yes.
Which is diet and exercise, take care of yourself.
No.
Psychological, right? Which is like mental, positive thinking, learning new skills. Emotional. So you should go to therapy, set boundaries, healthy boundaries. Next one is social, which is kind of attached to emotional, where you have good interpersonal relationships. Try to restrict social media.
Oh. It really affects. I think most people, I obviously can only speak for myself, but I noticed such an extreme difference between if I delete the apps and if I go on to the apps.
I can't imagine young people because
oh my God.
Ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot what it was, but it was something about Photoshop, Instagrams and stuff like that for famous people and all. I'm like, this is not realistic. Not, and all these, and they're young artists or whatever that are doing this. So of course their audience are going to be younger.
Yeah. And it was a problem even when we were with the Photoshop on magazines. But at that point, it was just you'd see it in the food store, right? Yeah. And you kind of
got bombarded.
Yeah. Now it's just you're swiping. It's constant. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Okay, so we don't like that one.
Okay, so professional. So that's good. Management goals, how to deal with work environment and stuff. Environmental. So decluttering. Feng shui. Spiritual, so that's if you worship whatever you might want to worship, meditation, calm,
right? Yeah,
and financial rounds it out, right? Self-improvement in your finances. So you're saying, how can I do this? Well, wouldn't you know that in all of these 8 areas, we have books for you here at the library. Ready?
Wow.
So we have Eat to Beat Your Diet, Burn Fat, Heal Your Metabolism, and Live Longer. Call number is 613.25. So there's other books in case this one doesn't,
right?
This is in that diet section.
Yeah.
Right before cookbooks, right?
Yeah. Dr. Lee introduces a surprising new science of weight loss, revealing healthy body fat can help you lose weight. Then we have Complete Calisthenics, the ultimate guide to body weight exercise at 796.4. And using solely their body weight for resistance, so no exercise equipment, relying on minimal equipment, readers will learn how to perform a range of exercises. Push-ups, pull-ups, core, and lower body.
Did you see that TikTok of the guy asking the UPS driver what kind of exercises he does? And he does calisthenics, but he goes on and on about calisthenics, and it's very funny.
It's a very late 70s, early 80s term, isn't it, calisthenics?
Yeah, but this UPS driver is a true believer. And honestly, the way he talks about it, I'm like, yes, calisthenics.
Well, if you want, Nicole.
Yeah, I gotta find
It
it.
is 796.4.
Perfect.
And then we have the power of positive thinking. 158 is the call number. Okay, and so faith in yourself makes good things happen to you. This classic guide to self-esteem and success will help you learn how to break the worry habit, get other people to like you, avoid the jitters in your daily work, so that's good. Believe in yourself, most importantly, in everything that you do.
Oh,
That's nice. Set boundaries, find peace, a guide to reclaiming yourself. 158 also. Healthy boundaries. We all know we should have them. In order to achieve your work-life balance, cope with toxic people, enjoy rewarding relationships with partners, friends, and family. But what do healthy boundaries really mean? And how can you successfully express our needs and say no? And be assertive without being offensive. Okay.
Assertive without being offensive is a skill.
Well, it's also, you cannot control what other people
I was going to
feel.
say, other people
So
might,
you can be as nice as you want. When people hear the word no, woo.
Yeah.
I hope that they cover that in the book.
Yeah.
That's a hard one to learn, though. 10 arguments for deleting your social media
There you go,
accounts
Nicole.
right now.
All right.
Okay. The call number is 302.231.
I'll go take it out.
Okay, lays out 10 arguments for why readers would be better off if they deleted all their social media, citing social media's tendency to bring out the worst,
It
to
does.
grade politics, distort truth, foster disconnection, and sap free will.
Wow.
Woo! That's a mouthful.
That is
I don't even need the
serious.
arguments. I'm like, I have to do it right now.
The other toxic work, how to overcome stress, overload, and burnout, and revitalize your career. This is in the Miller Business Center under
there you go.
650.1. And I think the title says it all. So if you are feeling any of those things, you might want to check that out and become happier at work. Then we have keep the memories, lose the stuff, declutter, downsize, and move forward with your life. That is 648.8. America's top cleaning expert. Bet you didn't know we had one of those. And star.
Marie Kondo?
No. And star of the hit series Legacy List with Matt Paxton distills his fail-proof approach to decluttering and downsizing.
Anybody, someone says fail-proof, I'm sorry. It's just
I
it's-
like
He's on PBS,
Marie
Okay.
Kondo.
and he identifies the
I like
psychological
PBS.
roadblocks. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe this is-
Yeah. Well, I think if you find one that you like, they'll just help you no matter what.
psychological roadblock, as in the toys that my daughter has not cleaned up in the living room.
Yes, exactly. I think that would be more her psychological roadblock as to why you can't throw out Barbie or whatever. The No Nonsense Meditation Book, Scientist's Guide to the Power of Meditation, also 158.12. Dr. Stephen Lories has conducted groundbreaking research into human consciousness for more than 20 years. For this best-selling book, translated into 7 languages, he explores the effect of meditation on the brain and using hard science to explain the benefits of a practice that was once thought purely spiritual. And last but not least, rounding out one of the 8 things, the dumb things smart people do with their money. Yep. 13,
All of them.
Yeah. But wait, Nicole.
I don't need to say I'm smart. The dumb things dumb people do with their money.
This book, 13 Ways to Right Your Wrongs.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Also a Miller Business, 332.024. Do you have a friend, in quotes, who is super smart, has a great career, holds a graduate degree? Looking at you, Nicole. Has even saved a chunk of money for retirement, but who keeps making the same dumb mistakes when it comes to money? And then, wait, is this quote-unquote friend you?
No, it's actually my friend.
After decades working as a Wall Street trader, investment advisor, and money expert for CBS, Jill Schlesinger reveals 13 costly mistakes you're probably making right now with your money without even knowing it. Oh, I know it. Every time I click on Amazon,
one click. Yeah.
boop, there it is. Drawing on heartfelt personal stories. Yes, money experts screw up too. Schlesinger argues that it's not lack of smarts that causes even the brightest, most accomplished people among us to behave like financial dumb, but some simple emotional blind spots. By breaking bad habits and following Jill's pragmatic and accessible rules, you can save tens, even hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh, come on.
I don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can save $1. Okay. Not to mention avoid countless sleepless nights. So if that sounds like you or someone you know and love, check that book out.
Awesome.
I need to know how I'm going to save myself $100,000.
Yeah. We're at one.
Imagine.
Make $100,000. Okay.
Very good.
But yeah, so this September, everyone should try to
You should.
self-improve at least one of those
Pick a
eight
category, yeah.
category.
And as much as people make fun of the Dewey Decimal System, the fact of the matter is, if you go to the 158s, all the books there are very similar.
Yes,
Right?
hopefully, unless there's a mistake.
Yes,
Yes.
very good.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Sarah.
Sure.
And Nicole, what do you have to contribute to this conversation?
It's on a similar vein, not exactly the same, but I don't know what. So it's about goal setting. So I
Okay.
don't know which one that would like fall in under the 8.
Goal setting.
Yeah, like-
could be any of them. Which goals?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. So I guess it depends on
Yeah.
your goals. So yeah,
financial
Could be all of them.
goals,
yeah,
diet goals.
yeah. So I've talked about him before. He's at a podcast. His name is Andrew Huberman, and I love him very much. If you're listening, Dr. Huberman, big fan. So and he has quite a few different like episodes on this, but so he has one that he just did by himself, and it's called "How to Set and Achieve Your Goals." And I listened to this one, and it was really good. And like once you go, if you go on his actual website, then he has like a bunch of other like resources to do this, whatever. But it says because it's all science based, right? He's a doctor, like a PhD in neuroscience and ophthalmology, and he works at Stanford. So this, he says, is to set and achieve your goals in a way that maximizes the likelihood of reaching them. I explain how to define a priority and reach a specific goal by systematically assessing the challenge level, measurability, milestones, and action states needed to progress from start to finish. I also explain research-supported tools to improve your performance during cognitive or physical goal work, including directed visualization, variable reward timing, and optimizing your physical environment. I also dispel common myths about goal setting and achievement. This episode provides a science-supported toolkit of zero-cost strategies for goal setting, goal pursuit, and goal completion that can be applied to any physical or cognitive endeavor. And I listened to it. Some things that I thought were cool was what they talk about. And this could be, like, I know, like Sarah's like adult and I'm like teen and children's, but this could be applied definitely to teens. Teens can absolutely listen to these episodes, I would think, and even probably read most of the books that I recommended. Mm-hmm. And for children, like, it's funny, I was looking it up, like goal setting for children, and PBS actually has an article written, and it's almost exactly the same. So you just kind of make it a little bit simpler, but the points are the same. It's like you choose a priority goal. So you're not working on, so I'm not doing like my financials and my spirituals and my emotional and my boundary goals. Like you pick one primary one, and then you like set like, I'm going to do this for 3 months, so 12 weeks or whatever. Mm. And then, and you should pick like, the goal that you pick has to be it can't be easy and it can't be like crazy. It has to be like just above what you think you can do.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like,
if you're like, I'm going to wake up 1 minute early today.
If it's too easy, you're not going to do it. If it's too hard, you're not going to do it. It's like the sweet spot, like where you have to pick it. You have to write it down. Like it's like all these like your action verbs, like what you're actually doing, how are you going to measure it, and then you have to like physically handwrite it. There's like scientific evidence that supports that physically handwriting things helps it stick in your head and do it.
Sarah's done it right. She's already shaking her head.
Yeah. I have like 20 planners. I can tell you right now. Not always true.
Planning. Do you put your goal? Are they goal planners?
I put
Stuff she has to do in there.
yeah.
No, but not like goals. Like, so,
Thanks, Al. Yeah.
but are they your goals?
Stuff she doesn't want to forget.
Yeah. So that's different. Anything Andrew says is right.
Okay.
Then this actually, it reminded me of work. Okay, so there's the visual reminder myth, the post-it fallacy. If you ever hear like put it on a post-it and stick it to whatever, you'll see it every day. So here at work, I don't know if you guys have it over on your side. I know we do. When we do the tallies for how many people we help, the reference surveys, right?
Yeah.
Whatever they're called. So on our computers, it
we have
has
that.
the big
Yeah.
pink thing.
Yeah.
I immediately forget about it. Immediately.
You forget about it after reading it.
Yeah, I see it and it's
Really?
gone.
Oh,
and
wow.
that is, I'm not odd. So and I know a lot of us do.
You're not?
Are you sure? Are you
Not-
sure? You're positive.
In that aspect,
Completely
I am
positive.
not. It's evidence-based. I am not the odd person
They
out.
did a test.
It
They did a
doesn't
study.
If you put something there, you are like
You're
get rid of it.
predisposed to get rid of it. Yeah.
Like your visual, like
It's
they
kinda
see
like
it
the
once
fact-
and it like filters it out because it's like new things coming in, and if it
It's
sees
sure,
it, it filters
yeah.
it out.
Yeah.
So he said better way to do that, because it's still, you could still do something like that, would be to write it down every day and put it somewhere different. So you're still
Oh,
get the act
okay.
of writing it down and you're putting it somewhere new.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so that helps keep it.
Electrical shocks usually
Yeah.
too kind of help if they, it's
Just
little-
try these things, see if it works. We'll do it together.
I'll forget where I put the post-it.
But then when you see it, it'll remind you. And you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, 10
Don't
days
hide
later.
it from yourself.
10 days later.
Like put it on
Take
the bathroom.
milk out of trunk. Take milk out of trunk.
Fine.
Ugh, what's that smell? Yeah.
The accountability myth, don't tell the world rule. So when you actually want to do something, don't tell anybody
Okay.
about it, because sometimes they're like, oh, tell people, because then they'll be like, oh, how's that going?
Mm-hmm.
And it'll like help you. That's not true. That doesn't work.
Okay, so keep it to yourself.
Yeah, keep it to yourself.
All right.
Put your phone away.
Oh, you can't do that.
I think those were the ones that I was like, okay, I could do that. Oh, there's also like the reward thing. Like okay, if I lose, say you're like trying to lose weight and you're like, or you're trying to like work out and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
if I can work out for at least 30 minutes, I'll like reward myself or something like that. That's not
With like a ice cream sundae.
whatever you pick. It's whatever you pick. The point is that doesn't work. You need to randomly reward yourself.
Oh.
You flip a
Okay.
coin. Like you complete your task.
Oh.
So
okay.
you're gonna like, if I like complete my 30-minute workout, like you pick whatever your reward
Yeah,
will
yeah.
be, and you flip a coin. If it's
Okay.
heads, you actually get it. If it's tails, you don't.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
Interesting.
actually a better way to like keep you motivated to like
Because then
do
you'll do it
things.
again.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So those are some. That was just his episode on like goal setting, and like I said, there's a lot of other resources in there to do it. I do really like the evidence based part of it. Like, it talks about studies that you read and stuff like that. And there was another episode with Dr. Maya Shankar on how to shape your identity and goals, and she was like a world-class violinist, I believe, until she had a injury and she couldn't play the violin anymore. And that was like, so she talks about how she had to like redefine herself, like
Yeah.
not like tying your identity to something that you do, but like your values and who you are and stuff like that. So she was talking about like shaping your identity and goals, and I thought that was a really interesting conversation that they had. And there's this one part which I kind of spoke to something that you mentioned in one of your 8 like self-improvement things, but she says that like there's this movement or like this kind of this thing where it's like, be who you are no matter what anyone says. And she's like, well, she's like, you can listen to feedback on other people's opinion of you.
Yeah,
She's like,
yeah.
that's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Like, so she's like, it's, and they obviously that's more nuance than that when they talk about it, but
Yeah.
that was kind of like, it was interesting because that's what you hear a lot, especially on social media and positivity, which I agree with, but like there's something to be said for listening to feedback of people being like, all right, well, you might want to consider this, it's just something to consider.
Sure.
So I thought that was kind of funny, that part. And then some books that they recommend in that episode was a couple that are in the 158 category,
Okay.
the 1.5s. So there's Chatter, The Voice in Our Head, Why It Matters and How to Harness It. That's 158.1. Cross, Awe, The New Science of Everyday Wonder and How It Can Transform Your Life. That's 152.4.
Are these children's or adult?
No, this is adult.
Oh.
But again, like these are definitely books that teens can read.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this isn't and the children's one, we'll put the show notes to that PBS thing because it's like similar, like I said, just kind of like filter it down. And even in the PBS ones, it says like make it a family goal, like, you know, like focus on the child, what they want, but you could do it together, like as a family.
That's good.
Get it done. Surprising lessons from the science of motivation. 153.8 Fishback. The war for kindness. Building empathy in a fractured world. 152.41. And thinking fast and slow. 153.42. So we have all of those here. And I looked in teen, and we really don't have that many. But I think it's like teens can read these books. You know what I mean? And they're not like and actually in this episode as well, she talks about, or they both talk about how like pop science is actually a good thing. It like can introduce you to like stuff. And then like for her, like when she had her accident or whatever, her dad was a scientist. And so he had some of these books, and she started reading them, and like and that's how she became a doctor and whatever she's a doctor in. But like it was like pop science books that got her into it. So like they're great for teens, and I think they have really good resources. So if you're interested in any of the improvement things and you want to set goals for yourself, you choose one of Sarah's improvement topics, and then you set your goals using Dr. Huberman's
guidelines.
Yes. So, evidence-based
Sorry.
guidelines. There is actually a teen book. It's an ebook, but it's called Just As You Are, A Teen's Guide to Self-Acceptance and Lasting Self-Esteem. So I think, again, it's like about like not tying yourself to something that could be like if you're an athlete and like you're just known for like what a great pitcher you are, God forbid something happens and you can't do that anymore, you know, like it's the big blow, you know. So like how to be able to do that. And I think that probably happens a lot with teens. They'll like, you know,
oh sure,
identify
adults
with something.
too.
Adults, yeah. So yeah, so there you go.
Cool.
Self-improvement in September.
Great. Thank you very much, Nicole. So that does it for this episode. We hope that you are able to improve yourself. And you can help us improve ourselves.
The whole thing I said about feedback that doesn't apply to me or like this podcast.
Yes. By reviewing our show in your favorite podcast app. Just click on the review button, assign a number of stars to the five, yeah, the number of stars to the podcast, and
That was very
let us
assertive.
know. And also look,
my boundary.
and yes, if you're on
You're already self-improving, Nicole. I like it.
if you're on YouTube and you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us on YouTube, I should say, then you can comment below, right? You can make a comment on the
You
YouTube.
sure can.
Also, podcast@mcplibrary.org is our email address. If you'd like to drop us a line, we'd greatly appreciate it. Go to our website, too, mcplpodcast.com. Show notes, information on the show, all that good stuff is there if you want to listen to older episodes. So thank you so much for listening. For Sara Fade and Nicole Rambo, I'm Sal DiVincenzo. We'll see you on the next show.